At the start of each year, most of us, myself included, set goals, and we might get started really enthusiastically, inspired, and we're going for our goals. But somehow, in some amount of time, usually only a few days or a few weeks, we get distracted, disappointed, busy, and we lose focus. And then our goals fly out the window, and we get right back into our old habits and patterns. Why do we give up so easily? The simple answer is that we don't have a fundamental foundation and a solid plan. We just don't have a strong enough reason. We don't have a clear vision of what it would mean to succeed at whatever the goals are. We're not prepared with how to handle the distractions and the difficulties and the disappointments that might occur and will occur, the obstacles. We don't know how to quiet our doubting mind, that monkey mind that keeps saying, you really can't do this, or don't bother, or go have that piece of cake, or you're too tired to work out today. You know, those little thoughts that we all have. Maybe you need some inspiration. So I wanted to share a brief story that I just read in the news. Ted Bundy, the notorious serial killer. The year was 1978, and he chose to come to a particular sorority house in Florida, and a beautiful young lady, one of the sorority sisters, was sleeping. It was 2:30 in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, and he had already bludgeoned and murdered a few of her sorority sisters, and then he came into her room. She was there with a roommate, and he started hitting her. She remembers this dark figure and a big blunt object coming at her like a bat, and he crushed her jaw and messed up her face, and she was bleeding, and later she described it as blood all over the room. But she felt saved because this light suddenly flashed in the room. What happened is one of her sorority sisters happened to be on a date that night, God bless her, and that light from the car flashed into the room. And when he saw that light, Ted Bundy ran out of the room, and she was saved. She was brought to the emergency room. That woman could have lived her life, the rest of her life, being bitter, hostile, being afraid of men. She even got a job after she recuperated from all those injuries. She had to stay with her parents for months and months, but she got a job and at a bank, and then very soon after that was robbed at gunpoint. So she had a second traumatic incident. And many of us have many things happen. But this young lady chose to live her life, and she's married, she has children, and she's living a full and happy life, and really has let that be in the past. So that's one story that maybe can inspire you, that no matter what has happened in your life, and most probably not as horrible as that, you can forgive or overlook and let the past be the past if you understand your true purpose in living. So now, another inspirational story. On my Miraculous Healing Summit a few years ago, I interviewed an inspiring couple, Naya Swami's Gio Tish and Devi Novak. They're directors of the Ananda Ashram worldwide spiritual community, sharing the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. He's author of Biography of a Yogi. In their beautiful book, Touch of Joy, which is a series of inspirational stories, Gio Tish tells a story that was told to him when he was in India by Indu Ban. Indu Ban told Gio Tish about the most memorable talk he had ever heard. He attended an event, and the speaker came onto the stage only after a lot of ceremonial music and chanting. So it took a while, and they were all ready for the speaker. He came on and he said, everything that happens to you is a blessing from the divine meant for your spiritual evolution. And then he walked off the stage. And then he came back a few minutes later and said, everything that happens to you is a blessing from the divine meant for your spiritual evolution. And he walked off the stage. And then he came back a third time and he said, everything that happens to you is a blessing from the divine meant for your spiritual evolution. And he walked off the stage, and that was the end of his presentation. Now, for most of us, including myself, hearing that brief statement can be interesting, exciting, inspirational, but if you really don't understand what spiritual evolution is and how to attain it, then this thought will quickly be brushed aside as just another beautiful thought, and maybe in the back of your consciousness once in a while you'll think of it. Now, I have been teaching about love for decades. It's become my life's work. My 30 love lessons for your soul came as an inspiration, a download of eternal wisdom. But it wasn't until I listened to Tom Campbell, physicist and consciousness researcher, in an interview on Gaia TV, that I finally feel validated and determined to keep teaching about love. I had been feeling over the holidays and the beginning of the year as if, what's the point of teaching about love with so much negativity in the world? Why do this? Who's going to listen? And Tom Campbell explains that we live in a virtual world. It has a beginning and an end. We are consciousness, and we can connect to the rest of all consciousness, all the information out there. And consciousness is an evolving thing. And the way that consciousness evolves is toward caring, toward empathy, and toward love. In other words, our purpose for being alive is to evolve our consciousness and to assist others to evolve their consciousness. So I have renewed energy and inspiration to teach about love, to help you to understand what love truly is, so that you can share your love openly and freely and let go of all those past thoughts and memories and ways of being that have not brought the love to you and not allowed you to bring the love to others. So the conclusion has to be, whatever your goal is, it must be infused with love. If you love what you're doing, if you feel that the end result will bring more love and joy and compassion and peace and happiness to others in the world, then that is a goal you can put all your energy into, and you will achieve it. I believe where there is love, there is a way. I'm Dr. Erica Goodstone, Healing Through Love mentor and relationship healer. Stay tuned for my next video coming soon.